Hi there, I'm Katie Atchison, Business Development Manager at the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, and I'm so grateful to be able to present to you our Small Business Series, which is made possible with help from MassHire, Cape and Islands Career Center. In this series, our lineup of exceptional speakers will share ideas, tools, best practices, and solutions to challenges that small businesses on Cape Cod face. This spring, the session will focus on human resources and employment issues. To begin the series, we heard from three important individuals who you'll see present their work in the following 30-minute recording. Those three people are Neila from MassHire Cape and Islands Career Center, Caroline Williams from the Small Business Administration, and Mark Goldberg from SCORE Cape and the Islands.
Marketing and blast to job seekers. We work with job seekers who are currently unemployed and collecting benefits, who are underemployed, maybe working, but don't see that this is the job for them or has future benefits for them in terms of career advancement. And then we also work with people, we also work with people who are, who are exhausted their unemployment. And so therefore, they are just looking for an opportunity either to reskill or retrain in a position that will give them a future, or just to connect with the right employer. So how do we connect job seekers with employers? We do sourcing of candidates. These candidates are in our database. We have a database of thousands of candidates, both throughout the Cape and Islands, and even off Cape for looking to come to the Cape. We also have skills assessment testing that's available. So when we're working with an employer and they're looking at a couple of candidates and want to know if perhaps they do or don't have some of the qualifications, we have free skills assessment tests that we can provide in word processing and Excel and things like that to help determine the level of entry for a particular candidate. We help employers recruit right there at the Career Center. We'll host a hiring event for you and help promote it. We'll host an information session for you. We've had the United States Postal Service come in. We enter and admit dozens of job seekers just to hear about the opportunity. And then of course we do job fairs. We do both virtual and in-person job fairs. Right now we are gearing up for next week. We have three great job fairs that are happening in person, Upper, Mid, and Lower Cape. And as you can see from this flyer, we are trying to entice people to come with free gas cards and the ability to win prizes. For the employer, there are lots of incentives also to hire people who are unemployed, who are veterans, who are former felons, or people who are on temporary assistance. And there are things that are called the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. And that is something that if you want information, we can connect you to. But there are other hiring incentives as well. And as you can see, the list goes on and also includes disabled access credit, a credit to help remodel your facility in order to remove barriers for those who may have disabilities, and also the registered apprentice tax credit. So today, the big buzzword right now is talent pipelines and where do we find job seekers? And as I said before, so many of our job seekers, especially those who have been in retail, are determining that retail does not have a future and they want to reskill. And so what we provide through government grants and funding are training opportunities up to $10,000 per unemployed person. We train in a skill for a job that's in demand. Again, this is an opportunity that's provided to the job seeker. Likewise, we have a wonderful bridge program called the On the Job Training, where in order to encourage an employee boxes, but perhaps 8 out of the 10 we will assist with that person, bring them on board, and we will subsidize part of their salary during a preliminary, if you will, onboarding training session. So that could range from 2 weeks to 6 weeks. It's something that we work out together. And the other thing that we provide is work experience and internships. These are things that we pay for that provide job seekers opportunities to work with employers before the employer actually has to hire them. Other sources of pipelines are your secondary school. We know the road check schools have great programs. For instance, right now I am working with Cape Cod Regional Tech and their HVAC program. Together, I provide the career readiness training. The school obviously does the technical training, and employers are there teaching the courses and also ready to hire these students once they finish the program. We know that Cape Cod Community College and Bridgewater State University also has these training programs, as well as the opportunity for associations to provide an umbrella, if you will, for apprenticeship and pre-apprenticeship programs. And some of those that are available are through our own Home Builders Association here on Cape Cod, the Massachusetts Restaurant Association, the Bankers Association, and the Society of Human Resources Management. And what this says is that, yes, apprenticeships are certainly the traditional trades, but there are also the non-traditional. So there are management, there's professional services and banking, hospitality. So it's an opportunity to explore. And again, I would be your point person. So all I'm saying is reach out to me if any of these things sound of interest to you to help you grow that talent pipeline. Another opportunity is money on the table. Additional funding has been provided through the American Rescue Plan to help provide upskilling and retraining of incumbent workers, so your current workers or new hires. And you can access these funds through an application process working with Commonwealth Corporation, which works with the Mass government to administer these grants. There are numerous grants and way too many for me to go into any detail right now, but I can share with you two very wonderful ones that have been accessed by numerous employers here on the Cape. The Express program, up to $30,000 a year, and the General program, up to $250,000 a year. And just to give you an idea, for instance, we know Shepley Woods Products has used the Express program. We know that Cape Cod 5, as they're building their and staffing their new headquarters, took advantage of the General Grant program. And I provided some layout of how that program works. Again, something that you will be able to look in more detail when Katie circulates these PowerPoints. Finally, there are lots of government departments and resources available to you to help you in the event of if you're needing to downsize. We call on our folks at Rapid Response. If you're looking for safety training, and again, there's grants available for that. We have the Department of Industrial Accidents, and we have lots of information from our Mass Development and Mass Office of Business Development for those businesses that are looking to locate anywhere in the Cape and Islands, but also looking to grow their existing businesses. So wrapping up, the information here, we're located in Hyannis, right by the West End Rotary, which is right near the Melody Tent. But we are also on the road all the time now that thankfully the pandemic is over. But Zoom meetings, in-person meetings, I'm happy to discuss any of these opportunities and certainly to talk to you about your business's own particular needs. Thanks, Katie.
Thank you so much, Neila. We're going to keep the flow going, and I'm going to throw our conversation now over to Caroline. And I am going to share my screen so that we can have her slides presented here.
Thank you.
Right. All right. We can see okay?
Yes.
Go ahead, Caroline.
Okay. No, it's still in edit mode, which is why I was just like, oh no.
There we go.
Okay. Yay. Thank you. Awesome. So hello, everyone. Happy spring. As Katie said, my name is Caroline Williams. I am an outreach and marketing specialist with the Massachusetts District Office of the SBA. It's my job to connect small businesses with resource partners and other organizations to help them start, grow, and expand their business. I want to thank Katie for organizing the series and inviting me to speak. I just hope that I can be helpful and direct y'all to the right resources. Next slide, please. I want to give a brief overview of SBA programs and services so you get a better idea of who we are and what we do. So for the Massachusetts District Office, we're located in downtown Boston on 10 Causeway Street in the Tip O'Neill Jr. Federal Building right next to North Station. We also have a branch office in Springfield to help our folks out in Western Mass. Next slide. So the Small Business Administration was created in 1953 with the idea to help start and grow small businesses in particular. We're the only federal agency, that is dedicated to growing and counseling small businesses. So in total, there are 68 district offices all over the country and in US territories, so that wherever you may be, there's a team of people willing to help you and get you connected to the right resources. Next slide. Okay, so there are 4 main areas that the SBA focuses on in order to support your business. We provide free business counseling with our resource partners. We have SBA guaranteed business loans. We focus on home and disaster business loans. And then we have help with federal government contracting. Next slide. Okay, these are our resource partners. You can find chapters of these organizations all across the country, but the ones here are specific to Massachusetts. I'd love to elaborate on each of them. They're all fantastic and unique, but the bottom line is that they're available to help you whether you need a second pair of eyes on your business plan, or maybe you're thinking about exporting and you need help getting started there. They can offer advice and counseling and help you get going. And of course, Mark will go into more detail about what SCORE does when he speaks. So next, thank you. So it's like anticipating, thank you. Okay, so the second area of focus is loans, and the SBA works with approved lenders to offer SBA-backed loans to help your business. And the 3 main loans are, next slide. Oh, there's the 7A, which is our most common loan program. It can be used for multiple things, including, not limited to, short and long-term working capital, to refinance any current business debt, or to purchase furniture and supplies. The maximum amount for a 7A is $5 million, and there's more information on our website under the Funding Programs tab for eligibility. There's also an application checklist. The second one is the 504 loan, which provides long-term fixed rate financing of up to $5 million for major fixed assets that promote business growth and job creation. So these are available through certified development companies or CDCs. And again, you can see our website for eligibility requirements. The 504 can be used for the purchase or construction of existing buildings or land, new facilities, long-term machinery and equipment, or the improvement of all of those things. And then lastly, we have the microloan program. So this program provides loans of up to $50,000 to help small businesses start and expand. And you can use the funds for a variety of things, such as working capital, inventory, supplies, machinery, or equipment. They just can't be used to pay existing debts or purchase real estate. Okay, next slide. Thank you. Okay, so after all this, you may be thinking, great, there's money out there. How do I get a loan? Where do I go to? You can use our lender match tool to find an approved SBA lender to work with. You just go to sba.gov/lender-match, enter your information, an interested lender will reply within or about 2 days and let you know what the next steps are. So these lenders are given a delegation of authority, so they receive SBA training on these loan programs and are required to keep up to date with all the different requirements. All right, next slide. All right, the third area of focus is helping businesses recover after a disaster, like a hurricane or a snowstorm, and of course, in the last couple of years, COVID. You've probably heard of the Economic Injury and Disaster Loan. There was a specific one for COVID. It unfortunately ended in December, but appeals, increases, and reconsiderations are still being accepted. And I encourage you to reach out to the email and numbers on the screen or the fabulous resource partners for help. Next slide. All right, so the fourth area of support is federal contracting. If you go to our website, again, sba.gov, there is a whole tab just for contracting. And I think a lot of times people get it in their heads that contracting has to be like, oh, well, I make weapons. Like, can we contract with the Department of Defense? It's not always like that. We've had a lady here in Massachusetts who is really good at baking cookies. And so the government decided to buy those from her. We have another lady who doesn't have a physical booth for her hair cutting business, but she has her cosmetology license. She's a hairstylist. She literally just has her supplies in a bag, and she got a contract to cut hair for servicemen and women on military bases. So it really can be anything. Okay, next one. There we go. So in order to best help your business, there's a number of different programs. It can be daunting, but this is why the SBA is here to help you get started. The government has percentage breakdowns of how they're supposed to spend their money, and it can help you to be certified as woman-owned business, 8A certified, as a service-disabled veteran, or maybe your business is located in what's called a historically underutilized business zone. The government has to spend a certain percentage of money on each of those categories. So you can see the eligibility for those at our website. All right, next slide. So this is just an example. The government is required to spend about 23% of its budget for goods and services on small businesses. I know that doesn't sound that big, but when the budget is 600 billion, and I'm sure it's bigger now because we're in fiscal year 22, 23% of that is pretty significant. And keep in mind also the US government is the world's largest buyer of goods and services. So they need stuff and they need it from small businesses. All right, next slide. I know that was a lot to throw at you all, but I try to keep it down to those 4 areas if that's all you remember about the SBA: counseling, loans, disaster assistance, and contracting. So this is our office contact information. If you have questions, please reach out to me or email our office. Highly recommend subscribing to our newsletter. There's always going to be stuff about different workshops going on, different events. I will quickly plug a couple of events that we have coming up. So tomorrow we have a presentation with the Boston Public Library at 2 p.m. To celebrate our new relationship together. And then on Thursday, the 24th, I think Thursday is the 24th. Yeah, whenever the 24th is, I think that's Thursday. At 1 p.m. we have a Women's History Conference for celebrating women in business. So please see our website for that. And I'll now hand it back over to Katie. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, we're throwing a ton of business information at people today about business, which is why I'll share the slides. But I'm gonna let Mark just go for it, sir. You got this. No introduction necessary. Everyone knows Mark, right? So Mark Goldberg from SCORE sharing his screen. Let's get that microphone working. Here we go.
Mark, you're muted.
It's hard to unmute when you're sharing your screen too. It's kind of a pain in the butt.
Okay, there we go.
Go. All right.
Okay, everybody, thanks. And thanks to Caroline for the introduction about SCORE. SCORE is a nonprofit 501(c) that is a resource partner of the U.S. Small Business Administration. And that means that we are connected to them both fiscally and through services. What I'd like to do is just spend a few minutes so that you can understand who we are and what we do. In 2021, across the United States, we created 25,000 new jobs. There are over 300 chapters, just like Cape Cod and the islands, with over 10,000 mentors, just like myself, who offer services free and confidentially to people interested in starting businesses. We also help create over 71,000 non-owner jobs. That means that the people that started these 25,000 new businesses hired other people. And that's part of our mission through training and through mentoring to work with people to start new businesses and then hire people. We also help existing businesses increase their revenues, and we help them increase their businesses by teaching them how to grow their business. When we take a look at the amount of funds that we are appropriated every year, it costs about $466.43 to create one new business, and we return $61.45 for every dollar that's appropriated to the services that we provide. On the Cape, we help create 54 new businesses and 170 new non-owner jobs. Now, how did we find this out? We survey our customers, our clients every year to find out who started new businesses, who hired people, and their interest in helping us improve our customer satisfaction by telling us what worked and what didn't work. 56% of our women, our customers are women. On the Cape, 52% are. 28% across the country were minorities, and 12% were veterans. On the Cape, about 9% of our clients are veterans. 23% of our mentors today are women, and we're trying to increase the number of women mentors we have to match the client base that we have. How do we help the community? We help through mentoring. We help through providing online resources. We have a digital library that we've shared with every Chamber of Commerce on the Cape and Islands, as well as having it available on our website. We conduct local webinars. We have national webinars that are available every week, all year long. And we have the Small Business Awards event every year where we celebrate small businesses. When we think about local webinars, we have a variety of topics, as you've heard already, from starting and managing small businesses to managing, to having simple steps to starting the business, to nonprofit leadership, to the hospitality industry, taking care of business, which is a women's forum. And on May 10th will be the next women's forum. We also had some specialty events where we collaborated with the Coop and with the Home Builders Association to help the skilled trades professionals understand what it means to own and operate a business. So we look at all kinds of different opportunities. We did the Latino Business Expo in February here on the Cape, and we expect to do another one in the fall. Currently, we have 51 volunteers on the Cape, with 9 on Martha's Vineyard and 1 in Nantucket. We have over 515 active clients. That means clients that we're mentoring on an ongoing basis, mostly through Zoom right now. We conducted over 1,200 mentoring sessions last year, and 3,241 total services, which included 44 workshops. So we're very active, and we orchestrate our workshop program mostly through the 15 chambers of commerce on the Cape. So it's a really good program. One of the secrets to our success is collaboration. And we collaborate with a variety of different organizations, from Coastal Community Capital, who collaborate with us on our for-profit webinar series, to Cape Cod 5 on our nonprofit and for-profit series, Cape and Plymouth Business Magazine, where we work hand in glove with them on a number of different projects, the Chamber, a variety of different banks who sponsor our programs. We also work with E4All, which is a different type of program to help small business by working with them on training their cohort in business model canvas approach. We partner with the Cape Cod Women's Association and Cape Cod Young Professional in a variety of different programming, including our women's program. We mentor out at the Lower Cape Community Development Corporation out in Eastham, as well as having locations on Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, and our office that's located now in the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce's office. Who do we help? Well, we help people who have a great idea and just need help getting started, whether it be planning, whether it be financing. We just help them get focused and understand what it takes in order to start a business. We get them started by helping them launch their business, by creating a business plan, by creating a budget, by helping them get from where they are to where they want to go. And we help them if they're in business. Many businesses are in business but get stuck. And most of the time it's because of cash management. We also help them grow their business by helping them plan for the growth and then finance their growth. And lastly, we help them get out of business. And most people don't realize it takes as much planning to exit a business as it does to start a business. So we help people who have gone through the entire life of their business, mostly boomers today that are saying, I'm tired, I'm ready to move on, I want an encore performance. We help them think through the process of moving on to the next venture. We also help nonprofits. And nonprofits are just like for-profits, except they have a different tax status. So we help them in board development, with executive director one-on-one mentoring, and facilitating strategic plans. And in doing so, we help them be a stronger member of the Cape Cod and Islands community, providing employment, providing services. So if you have an opportunity to get involved in giving back, here's a number of ways you can do it. Whether you want to be a mentor, whether you are a subject matter expert, like an expert in restaurant management or construction, or you're a CPA looking for some way to give back. We look for webinar and workshop presenters, as well as community ambassadors. So just raise your hand. I'm sure there's a role someplace within our organization. And like the others, this is how you can get a hold of us. Reach out and we'd be glad to chat with you how we can help you either through mentoring, through webinars, or becoming a volunteer. And with that, I will turn it back to Katie.
Thank you all so much. I'm impressed. It's 12:32 and we got through a lot of information. That is incredible. Thank you all so much. I wanted to just remind everyone that this information will be shared, that our next 4 sessions, again, will focus on human resources, specifically employment. And thanks to Neila for helping coordinate those speakers that are coming up. We'll be focusing, I love this, the 3 R's: recruit, retain, and reskill. So stay tuned for that information as well as a recording of this session. I have one question. I have plenty of questions to ask, but I have one that I'm going to throw at Mark just to close things out. What does SCORE stand for?
Nothing. It used to be the Service Corps of Retired Executives. Mm-hmm. But today, 60% of our volunteers are still working. And by hook or crook, when they changed the focus, they didn't change the name. So it's just an acronym for SCORE. And maybe it's scoring through mentoring and education.
SCORE goal. Perfect. Thank you all so very much. We'll go ahead and end our recording. And hope to see everyone that's in this session again for our next one on April 4th. We'll send an invitation out to you. And again, thank you to Caroline, to Neila, and to Mark today.